everyone for being here. Welcome especially to people who are joining us electronically. This is Monday, September 16th, a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Waverly, Iowa, and we are called to order. Would you join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chris Fagery, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you. Again, I'll call on you at the end of the meeting for any comments, or if you have something more urgent, just let me know.
I will do that, thank you.
Alrighty. Council, you have in front of you an agenda that has been developed for tonight. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That passed unanimously. You have in front of you a set of minutes from September 9th, our last regular meeting. Can I have a motion to approve them?
I will move approval of the September 9th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That passed unanimously. If you're keeping score at home, we are missing two council people tonight. Julie Myers not with us, and, oh, this is tricky, I gotta look around and figure out who's not here. And Rothy, Dr. Rothy is not here. Now is the time for public comments on items that are not on the agenda. Does anyone wish to rise to anything that is not on the agenda? I see no one, so we'll move on to the consent calendar. You have in front of you 11 items. Can I have a motion to take them all together? Motion to approve the consent.
I'll move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I would note with some joy that Aldi is on there looking for a liquor license, which means they must be thinking about opening up someday. That's great. All right.
And they'll have a wine section too.
Oh, nice. Anything else? All right. This is a voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That passed unanimously. We're now on regular business. If anyone wants to speak to any item on regular business, please stand and come to the microphone before that piece comes up, simply so I know to call on you. Item number 1. Friends, this is the first reading of Ordinance 1155, an ordinance amending the Waverly Municipal Code, Chapter 105, Traffic, Section 105.4.10, additional parking restrictions to allow time-restricted parking spaces in municipal parking lots. Can I have a motion?
I'll move approval of the first reading of Ordinance 1155, an ordinance amending the Waverly Municipal Code, Chapter 105, Traffic, Section 105.4.10, additional parking restrictions to allow time-restricted parking spaces in municipal parking lots.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? If I understand correctly, this is an outcome of COVID. So we've learned to do takeout. And COVID is kind of over, but takeout is not. Yeah. And so some of the businesses would like to have a place for someone can park, take out, and then get out of the parking place. Do I have that about right?
Yes, sir. I understand, looking at the ordinance, that the ordinance would simply permit the council at some future date to designate parking spots. It does not, in fact, designate parking spots at this time to be limited duration parking. I have some reservations about this, frankly, because we're reserving municipal parking spaces for not. Let me put this differently. We're reserving municipal parking spaces in such a way that it benefits one or two private enterprises. And I can tell you that there are a lot of people, a lot of business owners, merchants on my side of the river that would like to have a couple of spots along Bremer Avenue or along some of the side streets or that kind of thing, where it's limited for their customers. And we've had discussions about that some of you may be aware in the last year or so, dealing with businesses on Bremer Avenue and temporary parking and parking in front of businesses and that kind of thing. And I can tell you it's an issue, even in front of our business. I mean, I would love to be able to designate parking for my employees or my customers or whatever. But what really concerns me here is kind of a slippery slope where we're designating particular spots for short-term parking, basically for a particular business. And, we have had proposals come up in the past where we have looked at designating parking, municipal parking for a particular purpose. And what I'm specifically referring to is about a year and a half ago or so, where we had a discussion about allowing people who rented apartments downtown to park overnight in a municipal lot. And we said that would not be permitted because we were providing them with a special benefit that other people are not able to have by parking down there. I just think that we are going to open ourselves up to a lot of applications from businesses that would like to see the parking in front of their business or near their business somehow reserved so that it would specifically relate to their business. That's really not the job of municipal government to do. I totally sympathize with the business that proposed this. I understand what he's trying to do. I think it's a good deal if it could be limited, somehow that we could craft this a little bit better, but I just don't want to open ourselves up to designating parking for particular purposes rather than a first come, first served basis. We've got three slots at passing this. If it passes tonight, there'll be 2 more votes, but I'm going to vote against it.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Well, I have to say, I love the 10-minute, 15-minute parking down in Cedar Falls that I've used. When I'm ordering my ginger Thai takeout, we don't really have a Thai food restaurant in town, although some might argue that Asian Gardens is Thai food. But, when I've ordered from there, it's nice to be able to stop, get out, get my food, get back in and go. And I appreciate the fact that that parking space is available for people who are short-term. And I don't know that if there's any one restaurant, I'm still walking half a block to it. But the idea of short-term parking, I think, makes sense for a lot of the businesses. Now, we're not approving any particular parking spaces right now, but I know when I go to Miller, they've got a bunch of parking spaces in front of them that are kind of short-term parking for people who are going to be quick in and out. So it makes sense to me to have this option available for the downtown businesses. I think it's going to make us more tourist-friendly. I think it's going to make those restaurants that are offering takeout much more attractive for people.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
My biggest concern is just the enforcement of it. How do we monitor and enforce?
That was my question. What do you think, Chief?
It will be difficult. It will be difficult to enforce. There are a few time-restricted parking spaces in the community, and what the officers have to do is when they observe a vehicle, they come back around, it's still, they'll mark the tires, and then they'll start the count on it. I'm thinking with a 10 or 15 minute window, we may not catch a lot of it. It would have to be, one of those things that the customers would have to abide by themselves. But we would certainly watch it, but it would be difficult to watch.
Well, I would say that if it's a 15-minute parking and someone is rude enough to be in there for 20 minutes, that's not the problem. The problem is when someone sits in there all day long, that's when people are abusing that parking.
And those we would catch, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the examples is 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Would it go to normal parking after a certain time?
I don't know that we're going to put an actual time frame on it because, again, this is for multiple businesses, not a single one. Rod was indicating, we're not writing this for one business. We've had multiple people calling, asking, talking about using their back alley area, wanting pickup. one of the restaurants that are coming or heavily use pickup in the back. So if you want to run in, take a check, drop it off quick, it's for that purpose as well. It's not just restaurants. You go to Cedar Falls and it's meter low over the entire city. We can go to that too if you prefer. I mean, ours, we thought it was a simple possibility of taking 1 or 2 spots in the entire parking lot, most of which have plenty of spaces, to utilize to help businesses be more friendly downtown. I do think it's gonna be an issue enforcing, but so are the lots that are not supposed to be parking for 24 hours. I know of a vehicle right now hasn't moved in 4 months. Snowstorm will get it to move, and that's what happens. It's just, we're not here to be that community. We're here to be hopefully courteous to our neighbors and to utilize this only as need be. It's like someone sneaking into a handicap parking spot for 20 minutes because they can get away with it. Those people exist, but not many, we hope, and we will eventually weed them out. But that is the goal, is just to make this more business friendly. It's up to you if you want to vote for it or not, but we did run it by the police at first. I know it'll be a challenge. It'll be complaint driven, most like things are in this community to start with. But it was just an attempt to try and appease without going to meters and more severe actions to try and create these options. And again, it's only in the back lots. None of this is on the front, on the Bremer, on any of that. These are the back lots that we've looked at and walked at, monitored, and most of them are open, plenty of spaces. We're looking at 1 or 2. So
That was my question, and I have to admit, I didn't read through the entire parking ordinance, but as I'm reading this, let me find it here. Ordinance, unrestricted parking is allowed in municipal lot, except as, okay. So this is really only going to affect or benefit a very small handful of businesses that front on municipal lot. I mean, you're looking at downtown, right? We have parking lots, municipal lot downtown that's south of the hotel. There's a couple of municipal lots on the north side of the street. That might be able to benefit from some short-term parking because there's quite a bit of parking there.
Right.
There's a small lot on the west side that's north of the brewery.
Correct.
Most of the other parking is street parking, and I agree, we took the meters out, which I think is a good thing to do. I don't think meters are all that beneficial for businesses. But, you know, there are a lot of businesses that front on Bremer Avenue that would not benefit from a short-term parking in municipal lot. I mean, like you said, the municipal lots pretty much have parking available most of the time. There've been a few times where I've gone to eat back when it was the Bremer Diner, and that lot was fairly full. I ended up having to park on the street somewhere. But the problem that I see is that a lot of the businesses that this would help are businesses that are fronting on Bremer Avenue. It's really not anywhere close to anywhere where there would be a 15-minute limit, an in and out kind of thing. I'm thinking, for example, Z's Diner. I mean, there's a lot of people that in and out at Z's Diner, and we see it all the time. And is there a way of crafting this ordinance that there would be areas on Bremer Avenue or on the side streets that would be limited to short-term parking that for those kinds of businesses? We have several in our area that are pickup and you know, grab and go kinds of businesses. I mean, you've got Thinkwell Coffee, you've got the coffee place across the street.
Scooters.
Well, scooters, yeah, they usually have plenty of parking in the Fairway lot, but.
Oh, Get Roasted.
Get Roasted. You got Z's Diner. There are people in and out of the printery constantly. I mean, that's not someplace that people park for a long time. There's very few parking spots in that area. I know I'm just kind of rambling here, but I haven't really thought this through all that much. It just seems to me that if we're going to be doing this, then even in Cedar Falls, and I'm not sure exactly where those parking spots are in Cedar Falls, but my guess is they're not all in municipal lots. There's probably some of the short-term parking that's along
They're on
Main
the streets are the ones that I've used.
They're metered.
They're the 15.
They're metered on the
ones are
streets.
metered. Okay.
Most of their parking is metered.
Yeah, but the 15-minute ones that I use is free parking.
Right.
But it's like 10-minute, and it's meant for if you're picking up takeout food.
Yeah.
So our goal was not to blanket the entire city in this process. It was merely to address the parking lots themselves that we own municipally to just be more friendly to the businesses. If we're gonna go down a rabbit hole and try and accommodate this for the entire city, we sure can. But we were just trying to do the parking lots. It's as simple as that. We were not looking to try and reinvent all the parking along the side streets and Bremer Avenue and everywhere else.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just.
Alley
talking
access
this
has been a
through.
big thing. We've talked about the alleys we're redoing. It is a secondary business entrance for a lot of people now. Some it's their primary business entrance. We just want to make it a little friendlier for them to utilize it, and carryout's becoming, as I said, through COVID, a very large industry for a lot of places. So that was our attempt. Like I said, I think it's pretty clear what we're trying to do.
And I think this is a good start. I mean, it's by no means finished. As you say, it doesn't actually designate any parking spaces. It just
Correct.
gives us the ability to designate them.
Yeah, there'll be a resolution if this passes that would come to you to actually designate how many, where, what, et cetera. That would come after this if it does go through, but we don't have that in mind yet. We're still gathering information from all the businesses downtown. We've sent a letter out to everybody, asking them for their input. We have little to no input right now, which is what it is, so we're still trying to gather that as we go through the readings.
I didn't get a letter.
Yeah,
Well, you don't have a lot behind you that's gonna benefit you.
No, I don't.
That's why you didn't get a letter.
Oh, okay.
Any more discussion? You appear ready to vote. We're talking about ordinance 1155. Carla?
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
No.
Bergen.
Yes,
That passed 5-1,
4-1.
4-1. It's good you're good with numbers.
I am good with numbers.
Speaking of numbers, let's go to number 2, third and final reading of ordinance 1152, an ordinance amending chapter 61, that is section 61.04, application for special event permit, 61.06, coordination of application, 6108, indemnity insurance requirement, 61.14, appeals and the special event permit application of the Waverly Municipal Code. Is there a motion?
I will move to approve the third and final reading of ordinance 1152 as read by the mayor.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? All right, you appear ready to vote. Carla, could you help us out?
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you, that passed unanimously. Resolution 3, number 3, which is resolution 24-168, a resolution approving an increase in special event permit fees. May I have a motion?
Move to approve Resolution 24-168, a resolution approving the increase in special event permit fees from $25 to $50 per event.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Do we have any sense of how many of these permits come out per year?
I don't know offhand. We could find it.
I would,
Like
the special event ones, I would say a handful.
handful, so
A little bit
10
bigger.
10 at most, or
Well, I'd say less than that.
Yeah,
fewer than 10, okay,
half a dozen.
half a dozen, okay.
They're not the bigger events we're seeing. Most of them
Right.
are street closures, smaller neighborhood events, but these are the bigger, much bigger ones, so
Okay.
half a dozen maybe.
Any more discussion? You appear ready, Carla?
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
That was unanimous, thank you. Well, here's number 4. This is the third and final reading of ordinance 1153, an ordinance amending chapters 53, sections 53.2, license required, 53.3, license application, 53.4, license issuance, 53.5, application fees, 53.6, license bond, 53.7, duplicate and individual licenses when required, 53.8, license display, 53.9, exemptions, 53.10, denial or revocation of license procedure, and 53.13, mobile food vendors and peddlers, solicitors, transient merchant permit application, and the mobile food vendor application of the Waverly Municipal Code. Can I have a motion?
I'll move approval of the third and final reading of ordinance 1153 as read by the mayor.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, third and last reading of 1153. Carla, could you run a vote for us?
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
That passed unanimously, thank you. Number 5. This is the third and final reading of ordinance 1154, an ordinance amending chapters 103 subdivisions, sections 103.7.08, water distribution, and 103.7.09, sanitary sewer disposal of the Waverly Municipal Code. Is there a motion?
Move approval of the third and final reading of ordinance 1154 as read by the mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Carla?
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
That passed unanimously. Number 6. This is Resolution 24166, a resolution approving contract, bonds, and certificate of insurance from SCI Concrete Incorporated of Waverly, Iowa for the alley reconstruction 2024 and concrete projects, and authorizing the mayor to sign the contract. Can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 24-166, a resolution approving contract bonds and certificate of insurance from SCI Concrete, Inc. of Waverly, Iowa in the amount of $91,389 with a total estimated project cost of $94,899 for the alley reconstruction 2024 and concrete projects, and authorize the mayor to sign the contract.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? No, I don't hear any. Carla, let's have a vote.
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
That was 5-0, thank you. Number 7, Resolution 24167. A resolution approving the contract, bonds, and certificate of insurance from Dick's Petroleum Company of Tripola, Iowa for the fueling station project, and authorizing the mayor to sign the contract. Is there a motion?
I'll move approval of Resolution 24-167, a resolution approving contract, bonds, and certificate of insurance from Dick's Petroleum Company of Tripola, Iowa for the fueling station project for $279,918.53, with the total estimated project cost of $296,918.53, and authorizing the mayor to sign the contract.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
So we don't have a construction window because that depends on our ability to get the tank.
Yes, sir.
Do we,
That's correct.
what are our hopes?
20 weeks.
20 weeks?
Is that about right?
Yeah, the last they checked was 20 weeks, but that was also from when they originally, we started this process. He got his name on the list.
Okay.
When the bids were submitted, let's put it that way. So it's counting already, and hopefully this time of year, things have already been let and already been instructed, so usually the timeline's improved this time of year.
Okay, I mean, are we worried about this construction going into the winter when there's snow on the ground, or?
We will have the concrete ready to go, and they're gonna pre-build a lot of their pipe indoors, so when they come, if they get a nice winter day, they can construct a lot of it. You know. I think he said in a 5-day work week, they could easily have it built and put together.
Okay.
Any other discussion? We're on item number 7. Let's have a roll call vote.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
That passed unanimously. Resolution 24169, a resolution accepting the dedication of public improvements at the Bremer County Fairgrounds. Can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 24-169, a resolution accepting dedication of public improvement sanitary sewer main at the Bremer County Fairgrounds, which is a 632-foot segment of east-west sanitary sewer main located in the East Bremer Avenue, Iowa 3 right-of-way.
Second.
Excellent. Any discussion?
It's coming along.
We're getting there.
Definitely good.
Looking good.
We're getting there. Okay, Carla?
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. Resolution 24170, a resolution approving an agreement with HRS of Waverly, Iowa, which includes topographical survey, boundary survey, and construction survey in the north central area of Harlington Cemetery, and authorizes the mayor to sign the contract. Is there a motion?
Move to approve Resolution 24-170, a resolution approving an agreement with HRS of Waverly, Iowa, which includes topographical survey, boundary survey, and construction survey in the north central area of Harlington Cemetery, and the amount to not exceed $13,000, and it authorizes the mayor to sign a contract.
Second.
Any discussion?
How long will it be before this is done? And what I'm thinking is that, at what point do we vote on expanding the cemetery? Are we getting close to that being a requirement?
We've still got quite a bit of ground as you look at this area and then closer to the parkway, but I think it's gonna be a little bit yet. I can let Paul kind of talk about timing on this.
So this is the Paul Cheval Leisure Services. This is just a first step in expanding where we have to bury people, right? So we got the whole north end, there's a little bit on the south end that's property that we own that's conjoined together. I think, if we don't know exactly how many grave spaces this will make, think around 1,500. And with the memo, I think I did the math, we're good for like 40 years.
It's a while, yeah.
And you'll have different facing hillsides, trees and stuff, so there'll be a lot of choices. And this is just getting it mapped out, right? And then getting pins in the ground. This isn't the actual roads and stuff.
So any estimate as to when we're actually going to need to develop that section of the cemetery? Will it be in 5 years, 10 years, immediately?
I would say in 5 years, we should really be looking at.
Putting in roads and that
Having
kind of
a road.
thing? Okay. All right,
There's
thank you.
not a lot of area left. And use.
Any other discussion? Carl?
Drinkow?
Yes.
Bergen?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Angus?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
That passed unanimously. Resolution 24171, a resolution accepting deed without warranty from the Waverly Shell Rock Community School District. Can I have a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 24-171, a resolution accepting deed without warranty from the Waverly Shell Rock Community School District for approximately 6 acres of land that is located east of Southeast Elementary School.
Second.
All righty, you're on the table. Got any discussion?
This is that nice prairie area, so,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
We've been taking care of it anyway, and
right.
can't build on it,
Oh.
can't sell it. It's pretty. Okay, you appear ready to vote. 24171, Carla?
Bergen?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Angus?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Drinkow?
Yes.
That was unanimous. Resolution 24172, a resolution approving a tennis facility agreement between the City of Waverly and Wartburg College. Can I have a motion?
I'll move approval of Resolution 24-172, a resolution approving a tennis facility agreement between the City of Waverly and Wartburg College for a term ending June 30th, 2029, for the amount of $3,000 to be paid annually on the first day of June each year of the agreement for resurfacing of the tennis courts.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
So how often does the surface actually get resurfaced?
It's probably every, 8 to 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years.
Depends on the wear and tear, but for the most
Sure.
part, it's been around about 7 to 8. And so some of this is we've only been putting in $1,500, we're gonna increase to $3,000. So we're not making up that large lump sum if we're short. So that's what's gonna accomplish here.
No way we can change it to pickleball, right?
We're talking about it.
Okay.
Striping and netting, all kinds of different things. It's just a matter of, the big push here was lighting, because only half of this court area is lit, and going to LED lights. And so that's what kind of started a lot of this conversation, and will continue to evolve as we go down the road with this.
Any other discussion? 24172, Carla?
Wolf.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
That was unanimous. Resolution 24173, a resolution approving an amendment to the owner-engineer agreement between the City of Waverly, Iowa and JEO Consulting Group Incorporated of Wahoo, Nebraska for the Waverly Aquatic Center. Can I have a motion?
I will move this. I'll move to approve Resolution 24-173, a resolution amending the owner-engineer agreement between the City of Waverly and JEO Consulting Group, Inc. of Wahoo, Nebraska for the Waverly Aquatic Center for a total adjusted agreement amount of $627,000 to be paid for by existing or new capital improvement funds.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
I mean,
Big number. I don't
big
think
What, yeah, what's going on here?
It's what it is. I mean, you're designing a pool, the piping, everything under it. I mean, this is what you're looking at. It's the engineering, then the bidding, then the actual monitoring, make sure it's being built correctly. And looking at some other projects, and that is not really out of line. It's actually about what they said it would be when they bid the $8.9 million bond that we're looking at. This is that first phase that we talked about, getting this ready if the public decides to move forward and expediting the process of getting it built. So it's pretty much right at what they quoted it would be, but it is a little bit of money. Make no mistake.
And that's addition to the survey ones that we did.
Yeah, those have all been
A month ago.
smaller,
Yeah.
minor ones. This will be the next step once those are finished. And I think we have the geotech report back, and so they're starting to work through that.
Okay.
I mean, the really big concern is if the motion doesn't pass, so that this is basically planning we've done that's gonna sit on the shelf for a couple of years until
Possibly, yes.
we decide that have a way to pay for it, or have the movement to get it done.
If it doesn't pass, we'll start chipping away in a different manner. Obviously, if it passes, this will be taken out of the bond itself. We get reimbursement through that. If it doesn't, like I said, we'll move forward to pay it off as we're able to.
Right. And I think part of the goal here is to get it done quickly. If we're ready to move on it, the bond passes, we can get this construction done quickly. If the bond doesn't pass, or if we put this off, then it's gonna be multiple seasons without a pool before the new one gets put in.
Right.
And it's unlikely this work will get cheaper.
No, I would agree.
Probably not, probably not.
And so what you would be basically risking is actually only the $417,000, because the bidding and permitting won't go if the bond does not go through, and then of course construction administration doesn't happen if we're not building. So really what you're equating to is 417, not the 627,000, whatever it is. Can't even speak, it's
Is there any way-
627,000.
Is there any way for that to be a little more clear? Because that was my question. Could we just do the 417 at this point?
You could, but this is really allowing you, again, you can't really do the rest unless you do the 417, so those are
But
secondary
if the bond
functions.
doesn't pass, we are not obligated
No,
to
there's
the,
nothing
for the
to,
130, the bidding and, okay.
they know that we can't legally do it, when there's no bidding, there's no permitting, there's no construction, so, yeah, I've looked around some of the other ones they've done, this is very similar from a verbiage standpoint, but yeah, I understand your concern greatly. It's, all we're really jumping into is the 417 to build it, or to engineer it, I should
Design
say.
it.
If it goes through, you'll have the other 150. If it doesn't, that'll sit idle until it does, and then that's when that'll kick in.
I suppose the question is, if the bond doesn't pass, that 150, are we obligated to go with this firm at what point as we do get funding for the pool?
Well, I think I'd want to. If they're
Sure.
designing it and they're knowing what they're bidding, the construction, how it should be done,
Okay.
I don't think I'd want to switch horses in the middle of that race.
But it also could be if it takes an extra year or something, that cost could go up.
Well, I think in this fact, we're locking this in. That's how I
Okay.
look at it. And I'll
Okay.
have a discussion with those guys if we need to.
Okay.
But yeah, we can have that discussion for sure. But right now, I feel like you're locking in the design at least,
All right.
and everything else will follow.
Who owns the engineering blueprints and the drawings and
We
the
will.
design? We own that.
We will, when it's finished, that'll be ours.
So even if the bond issue does not pass, there will still be some value in having this done. We may have to redo parts of it depending on what changes are made to the design of the pool to make it more palatable to people.
Correct.
But there will still be some value. It's not like we have to start all over from scratch.
No, not at all.
I-
And again, depending on the reason, if it does not pass, we'll identify that, we'll work through that, we'll determine if design needs to be altered or not. All that's X, Y, Z, we're in step D. So we're just trying to get that so they can start moving forward.
Right, and a very aggressive time frame. I see September 17 to February to have this done. So.
Right.
The one major concern I have, though, is do we really trust an engineering firm from Wahoo?
Yeah.
Well, it's out of their Des Moines office.
Oh, okay.
That's where their headquarters
But it's all right.
And the gentleman doing it is actually from Platteville, Wisconsin, where he's built many of these in the past when he worked for Burbach Pools. So, not coming out of Wahoo, this is more the Des Moines area.
Any more discussion? Carla, let's have a vote.
Angus,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Drinkow,
Yes.
Bergen,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Those unanimous. That takes us to reports from boards and commissions. Anything anyone wants to comment on? I see none. James, staff updates?
We have nothing tonight, sir.
Okay. City council comments. Let's start with Councilperson Bergen.
Oktoberfest is coming up, but I know they're looking for volunteers, so if you're interested in participating in our Oktoberfest, that's October 4th and 5th, I know you can go online to sign up, either checking tickets or making sure the bounce house doesn't get too out of control. There's lots of ways that you can help serve. I know I'm volunteered to be one of the people selling the beer, which is always a good time. So I know they're always looking for new volunteers, so you can sign up for that. And anyone who wants to discuss city council business with me, I will be at the Bramer Avenue Brewery after the meeting.
Councilperson Jones.
Just a reminder, I know the mailings went out on the bond issue, and it is a 15-year bond. I think that was not on the mailing, but I've been asked since then. It's a 15-year bond.
Thank you. Councilperson Kangas.
I was just gonna note with the Oktoberfest that they have it out for sustaining members. If you wanna get ahead of time, get a mug and guarantee yourself a mug and pin and being part of the program. Go to the Waverly Oktoberfest. Right now I see it's on Facebook. They've got a link attached on there. So.
Thank you. Councilperson Drinkow.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilperson Wolf.
With the bond issue, I really encourage anybody to go back and refer to Julie's article in the Waverly paper on September 9th. It was very well written and really explains things very well. And the Human Equity and Diversity on Thursday night has an educational on Afro-textured hair. It's a class from 6 to 8 in the Exchange Building south of the fire station.
Very good. Thank you. Guest Councilperson Chris.
Thank you again for giving me this opportunity. I unfortunately will not be here next week. My son is home from Spain, and we are going to Colorado to visit my daughter. So.
Excellent. Good for you. Last week, I welcomed 3 new businesses to town and celebrated the opening of the library, reopening of the library. This week, I want to welcome 2 more new businesses that have just opened. Grumpy's is a restaurant near the college, and Denver Savings Bank opened up over kind of by US Cellular. I learned that one of the most important jobs of the mayor is to declare Halloween trick-or-treating. So we'll make that announcement now, but I'm sure we'll be talking about it again. We will do trick-or-treating on October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30. We've used up the entire agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.